Hey everyone, this is Friedel Courage Raven, and I'm back with my recap review of Harlots, season number 3, episode number 2. And if you guys aren't watching this show, I mean, you all need to watch it. It's one of the best shows airing right now, and it airs on Hulu. So if you have that subscription, you can watch it. So anyway, because of Isaac burning down Charlotte's house, yeah, the damage is quite severe. You can see that the walls have burned. We see that everything that Charlotte owns has been burned, and it was revealed that Charlotte ended up stitching money into the curtains for safekeeping, and that money is gone too. And I was very disappointed to see Charlotte defeated, but knowing Charlotte, I was at least hopeful that she was going to get back at Isaac somehow. So yeah, everyone is trying to recover. Lucy's there, Nancy's there. Only the kitchen isn't harmed that much. So in happy news, Mr. Knott comes back, and he's back with his fighter and his son, and he sees the damage, and of course he is there to console his daughters, and he asks Charlotte who did it, and yeah. So they end up going to taking the girls to Harriet's house, and they'll be staying there for the time being. Harriet kind of flirts with the new fighter, and I'm here for them as a couple. So at Lydia Quigley's, we see that Lydia Quigley is still talking to Miss Bottom, and they're trying to figure out what to do. That they're like trying to figure out that how they're going to escape, and one day they will be free. They can't just let go of that hope. So the doctor comes in, and the doctor apparently wants to use some new experimental method on Miss Bottom, and she has no choice but to agree. So over at Lacey's is staying with her sponsor, the man that is supposedly in love with her or something, and she's still trying to make him teach her how to grow money, and she wants to learn commerce. So over at Lady Isabella is trying to figure out why her daughter ran away with the footmen. She calls all of the help in front of her, and she asks them whether or not any of them knew that her daughter was running away, who helped her pack, and all of those questions. And none of the staff like answers her. So we get that police person with them, and the police person is like, "What do you want me to do about Isaac? You can't just accuse him of burning down your house. I need proof." And Charlotte is like, "You'll find Isaac in his in that bar of his. You need to go there, and I'm telling you, he's the one who burned down my house." So over at Elizabeth Harvey, they have started putting in furniture into the old Quigley house, and they're trying to figure out what's up with Lucy. Why isn't she here yet? So Emily Lacey ends up finding out that Charles has run away, and she ends up inviting his girl to work at the bar. She goes to Isaac's brother, and she tells Isaac about him, and she tells Isaac's brother about investing the money. However, before the conversation can move on, Mr. Knott is here, and he just simply picks Isaac up, and no one's dumb enough to go and stop him. And again, the police officer is like, "I need proof," and Charlotte again asks Isaac that he needs to tell them the truth about burning the house, but Isaac doesn't. He actually uses the people around the bar as alibis. He even uses his own brother as alibi, and Charlotte is like, "All of you are liars." So Mr. Knott tells Charlotte that she needs to calm down. They'll get the money back somehow. Mr. Knott will manage or hold fights again, and he just wants Charlotte to be safe. And he actually makes Charlotte promise that she won't do anything with Isaac. So over at the bar, Isaac's brother isn't happy about Isaac burning down the house, and Isaac actually tells Emily Lacey to go away so they can talk. And yeah, his brother is not happy about it, and Isaac has anger management issues. So and Emily Lacey isn't happy that Isaac's brother ended up lying for Isaac. So Charlotte comes, not Charlotte, Lady Isabella comes to meet Charlotte. Charlotte isn't there. Nancy's there at least. And Charlotte tells Nancy about her daughter running away. And Nancy's like, Don't worry about it. She's happy and you need to calm down. So apparently, Elizabeth Harvey has gone to meet this person called Salabat Ali Khan. Now, I'm not really sure if he's actually a Khan, like if he's a person of color, but anyway, his name is Salabat. And they have a history together. And Salabat isn't happy to see Elizabeth because he asked Elizabeth to go on a journey with him, but Elizabeth never showed up. But Elizabeth uses her charm and she tells Salabat that she has bought the Quigley house, and he's happy about that because now they can sell his wares from at the Quigley house. And they also need the front, and they also need a front for the Molly house. So Charlotte tells everyone that her father made her promise not to go after Isaac, but knowing Charlotte, she's like, I'm still going to go. So who's with me? So all of the women are like, we're with you, Charlotte. So over at Harriet's house, the young wrestler isn't happy about girls being murdered during the night. And again, there's something going on. There are sparks of something going on between him and Harriet, and I'm here for it. And Mr. North is like, I'm going to make you fight again. So Fredo is looking for some people to work at the Molly house, and he finds them. So the doctor is a creep, he's a pervert, and he ends up sexually harassing Miss Bottom, and that it's not a pretty sight. And it just goes to show how helpless women were in that time. And even today, a lot of women are helpless around the world. So Salabat and Miss Harvey are flirting, and Salabat actually wants her to marry him and all of that. And he actually promises her a lot of fine fabrics because a ship ended up sinking. So Fredo introduces the three men that will be working at the Molly house. And Fredo actually warns his mother about not getting way too much into Salabat because I think he knows that Salabat is his mother's weakness. So Miss Bottom ends up telling Lydia about what happened to her, and Lydia is like, "Yeah, men do that, and you're going to use his strength against him one day." So Lucy finally comes to the Molly house, and she's introduced to Mr. Salabat, and Lucy tells everyone that her sister's house burned down. So Emily Lacey comes back to the house, and she notices that the person she's living with is covered in blood. So apparently a fight broke out, and that person ended up killing a lord. So and now because Charlotte wants revenge on Isaac, Nancy goes and she ends up paying Charles's girl to tell her where the Isaac brothers are keeping the money, and it turns out that it's in the basement. It's in one of the barrels. So Emily Lacey ends up going to Isaac's brother to help move the body of the Lord. So apparently the plan is that they're going to cause a distraction so that Nancy can go in and steal the money. And I actually enjoyed the plan. I wasn't expecting Harriet to be a part of it, but she's there. So good to see you, Harriet. So Emily Lacey and Isaac's brother go away, and Nancy sends one of the girls after them to see where they're going. And the plan also involves Lucy dressing up as a boy as a distraction. So while all of that is happening, Isaac's brother is able to move the body, and yeah, it was a very weird scene. Of course, it's going to come back and harm them in some way. So as a distraction, yeah, Lucy ends up looking quite pretty in that pink outfit of hers, and Miss Harvey ends up announcing to everyone about the new tailor shop that they have, and they notice the lords, and they want the lords as a clientele. As far as Charlotte is concerned, she is going to go and distract Isaac, which she does. And Lucy ends up playing a game, and Lucy is like, you can pay to take clothes off my back, and that gets the crowd all excited. And this is the name of the Lord, and Elizabeth wants him to be part of the house because then everyone else will come in. So Harriet is causing a distraction as well, so that the guard doesn't notice Nancy going into the basement and searching for the money. And when Nancy was opening up the barrels, I was like, Nancy, you need to find that money fast and get out of here, because the entire scene was quite intense. So after moving the body, Emily and Isaac's brother walk back, and Emily tells Isaac's brother about how she thinks that he has done this sort of stuff before. And Isaac's brother is like, yeah, I have done it. And I also think that you've seen a dead body before. So Charlotte and Isaac have done it. And Charlotte, before leaving, tells Isaac that she's sorry. And I was like, Charlotte, you shouldn't have said that, because now he suspects that something's up. So yeah, Nancy is able to steal the money, and Isaac's brother comes in and he notices the money's gone, and he's angry about it. As far as Mr. Knott is concerned, he goes and reaches out to this person that he wants his fighter to fight, and they agree. So we can look forward to a fight, I guess. So Mr. Knott comes back and to Harriet's, and he notices that, yeah, he's not happy about Charlotte stealing from the Isaac brothers, even though Charlotte promised him. And yeah, that was just bad. So anyway, Mr. Knott still, because Charlotte's his daughter, he accepts what she does, and he goes to ask because Charlotte has a plan. So Mr. Knott goes and asks the brothers to follow him. And as far as Lydia is concerned, Lydia is just trying to make Miss Bottom be hopeful that one day they'll go out. And then it's time for Lydia to sit in that chair again, and Lydia doesn't want to. And then the doctor is like, Lydia, you have to. We have an audience. But Miss Bottom thinks of something to save Lydia, and she actually uses herself as a distraction. And she uses herself to distract the doctor. And Lydia instantly knows what Miss Bottom is doing, and she goes to the person who's in charge of the audience. And the plan is that while the doctor is sexually harassing Miss Bottom, Miss Lydia will bring the audience there so that everyone knows what the doctor is up to. And while that's happening, Miss Bottom is able to steal the keys. And yes, the audience comes in, and they're shocked to see what the doctor is doing, and that causes a commotion. Lydia is able to lock the audience in the room, and Miss Bottom and Lydia run away, but not before they unlock the rest of the patients, so that there's chaos everywhere. And during that chaos, Lydia and Miss Bottom are able to escape. So the plan that Charlotte has is amazing. I was very impressed. So basically, they're going to use Lady Isabella to kind of frame the Isaac brothers, and Charlotte places her conditions in front of the Isaac brothers, and she is like, you can take your money back, but I want you off my back. I don't want you messing up things for me. And the Isaac brothers have to agree, because if they don't, then Lady Isabella is just going to accuse them of breaking into her house. It was very well played, and I loved the entire scene. So Lady Isabella gets a letter from her daughter, and it turns out that her daughter is marrying the footman. She's now married to the footman, and Charlotte is like, don't worry about it. Your daughter is in love. She's richer than our wildest dreams. And then they used to move on to kiss each other, and I'm like, right in the corridor, someone might see you. So Emily again forces her. She urges her, the man that she's living with, to teach her commerce, and he does. He shows her these this land that's being sold in America. So that's something that Emily can invest in. But then again, I'm not really sure how much she can trust this person. So Salabat ends up proposing to Elizabeth Harvey, and Elizabeth Harvey is like, if you bring me all of the fabrics from a sunken ship, then I might consider it. So Lydia Quigley goes to her house, but it's now owned by Elizabeth and Lucy. And Lydia actually notices Lucy inside the house, and she's angry. She is also angry about what Charles did, and now Lydia and Miss Bottom have nowhere to go, but Lydia's like, we still have one place to go. You need to follow me. So Emily ends up telling Isaac's brother about her plan about owning land in America to make more money. The person that Lydia ends up taking Miss Bottom to is her trainer or whatnot, the same old woman who actually bought the Wells house with Miss Harvey. And the way she lied to Lydia, I was like, Lydia's going to find out sooner or later. So over at the house, Lucy and Fredo are joking around. They're being friends, and then Miss Harvey proposes a game about telling three statements, and that Miss Harvey will figure out which one is a lie. And Lucy ends up telling 3 truths, and it was a fun game. So the Lord that they ended up seeing outside returns. And it turns out that he's not here for Lucy, he's here for Fredo. So yeah, that happens. As far as Isaac is concerned, he goes back to Charlotte and he surrenders to Charlotte. And yeah, these two end up these two hook up as well. And yeah, I'm okay with these two as a couple. They have issues, but I wouldn't mind these two being together. So Lydia is playing these tarot cards at that old woman's house, and she ends up dealing the High Priestess cards. And of course, Lydia remembers her past about how she was a High Priestess like a year ago, and she remembers her experience with all of that, the rich, the all of the riches, all of the fame. And I'm like, Lydia, yeah, even though this show tried to make us feel sympathy for Lydia, you can't forget that Lydia is responsible for a lot of deaths of young girls. So it will be interesting to see when the Wells family ends up figuring out that Lydia is out, when Lady Isabella figures out that Lydia is no more. So it will be interesting to see what Lydia does now that she's outside. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section below. I enjoyed this episode immensely, especially because of how Charlotte ended up playing Isaac. I'm looking forward to this third episode. Again, if you guys aren't watching it, Harlots on Hulu, you should. And yeah, until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys later.